Hi, this is Greg Wagner for CIS 129 at Pima Community College. I wanted to help you get started with Module 2 with making a quick video on how to read in values and how to use if-then statements. So, to read in values, the example I gave you, you'll be using the um, the buffered reader function. Um, but also I want to just give you another example where you can also use another class called the scanner. And so for the scanner class, you would import java.util.scanner, and then you can basically scan the value. The scanner value basically works the same way as the buffer. It's just there's a few less steps. So that's why I wanted to give you the example. So basically what you need to do is make a scanner type, assign the value, define the values. I'm going to call it SC here for scanner. And then you're going to do a new, which allocates memory, and then scanner, and then where the data source is coming from. And so we have system.in. So this is basically saying I'm going to read from the command line. And then when you read in a value from the scanner, you do scanner, and then you would do next read line or next line for read in values, but you can also read in integers. So in this case, I'm going to ask you the question: system.out print line, would you like to go to Florence, Italy? And then you'd read in the value. So I'm going to declare a string to read in the value, and I'll call this. So you want to always give variable name something kind of meaningful. Don't use A, B, or something like that. So I'm going to say want to go to Florence. This would equal to sc dot next line. And then what you want to do is, from there, you'd want to have an if statement or a conditional statement that checks to see what the value is. So I'm going to do if want to go to Florence. Now, strings in Java, you can't exactly compare directly the string using equals like you would with numbers. So you have to do the value dot equals, and then I'll type in yes. And then within this if statement, I'll say system.out.println, hooray, Florence is nice this time of the year. And then we'd also have an else statement if it didn't work. So we have some sour grapes and say Florence gets too hot in June. Anyway. And so I have a basic program here. Now I'm going to save this, and then in tools, I'm going to compile current document, make sure the compilation is complete, and then what I want to do is I actually want to show you guys how to use the debugger. So I'm going to toggle a breakpoint here. So I have a breakpoint on line 11. Now in the debugger, I'm going to say debug mode, and then run document. And you see I have a breakpoint right here. So if I want to resume, now we'll actually go into the command. So what you saw there is when the line turned blue, it was actually stopped right there. And you can look at a bunch of different variable outputs. But let me run through this one first time. So I'm going to say yes. And it says, hooray, Florence is nice this time of year. So I'm going to run this again. I'm going to say run document. And it's going to stop on the breakpoint. Now I hit resume last time, this button here. But if I want to, I can step to the next line. And so you can see in the stack, you can also see the threads, which are basically all the values. But what you also want to see is you can actually see the different values. So I'm going to do step over, so it's going to go to the next line. And if you let's see, if you basically can stop it and let it run through to see what the different types of values are. And so I'm going to step again. Step again. And so one thing that's nice about the breakpoints is you can kind of see where your errors are going. So I'm going to say yes. I'll say no this time so you can see the different output. And then I'm going to resume through. And then notice how it says Florence gets too hot. So if the answer is anything other than yes, it goes in this portion. So I'm going to exit out the debugger mode and get rid of this breakpoint. But hopefully this gives you a good way to start your assignment.